peek at what's new in the world with James Houndog. Clown around with Dr. Andy as she creates science mayhem. Come face to face with Rastus as he wastes your time once again. Stuart Round has gone to Sydney for Christmas. But you can treat yourself to some culinary delights with our gourmet chefs Keely Smith and Carlos Raven. There's stand-up comedy with Owen Kavanagh, live music with studio band Superior Butcher, and now it's over to the maestro himself, Stephen.
Yeah. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Under Melbourne Tonight, the Christmas edition, last show for 1994. Oh, how you going? I feel good, mate, I feel good. I feel so good, it's almost hard to put into words. I think Tom Jones put it best when he said, yeah! That's how good I feel tonight. So, stay with us, play with us. For the next hour, we're going to be mucking around. It's the end of the year, you know, silly season, because we're normally really sensible, right? So we're going to have Dr. Andy, and we're going to have Carlos and Keely in Keely's kitchen. We're going to have Rastus coming in, wasting everybody's time with our weekly outburst of sheer futility. We're going to have special guest stand-up comedian Owen Kavanagh, and we've got Superior Butcher here as usual. We've got Tony Biggs. It's Tony Biggs' birthday today, okay? Just keep it under your hat though. And James Houndog will be taking us to the movies. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. So stay with us. Now, it's been a big week. It's been a big week. It's been an enormous week. Over in Tehran, there was a group wedding of 800 couples. They wanted to cut corners, like it's very expensive to get married over there. 800 couples got married at once. We've just had the facts coming through to the Under Melbourne Tonight offices. No, really. Now, we've just got some figures, some stats you might be interested in. For the wedding, they hired 342 beige tuxedos. They hired 200 light grey tuxedos with a nice pink cummerbund. And, of course, 258 those powder blue polyester flared numbers with little white frilly shirts up the front. Grouse, very, very sexy, I think you'll agree. Also, at the wedding, there were 794 half-pissed self-conscious speeches made by the bride's fathers. There were 4,003 bridesmaids being chased around by the 800 best men. 792 of which we've just had it confirmed did have bad breath and really persistent little stiffies. They're like that, aren't they? You know, those crazy Tehran people. Now, other news has been happening during the week. This is in the Age this morning. The Odd Spot said that in England, Christmas shoppers have been warned to be on the lookout for exploding musical Santas. That's all it said. That's pretty cool. I got to thinking, you know, because exploding, this is the worst time of the year for them. Worst time of the year for exploding musical Santas. They're not, you know, that's right, there's something in that for all of us. They're not so big in like May or June. You'll hardly see an exploding musical Santa. But now you can't throw a stick down the middle of the street without hitting an exploding musical Santa. And that's okay, that's fine, you know, because they're not from our planet. They're from the exploding musical planet, where all the musical things explode, where what they do, they go into war, not with guns and rifles and cannons, they go in there with tubas and tambourines and glockenspiels. And if there's big old condemned buildings and chimneys and silos and stuff, you know how they blow them up? Do you? Well, what they do, they get all these wires and in strategic positions, they place very, very, very high caliber harps underneath them, and all the guns, like you got to be worried. Banks get held up with people with like 44 caliber triangles, stuff like that. Terrible place. Don't ever go there. Don't ever go there. If you think of going somewhere for your holidays, don't go to the exploding musical planet. Stupid place. You can't get tickets anyway. It's all sold out. So, welcome to Under Melbourne Tonight for the 22nd of the 12th. Last show for the year. We'll be back next year. I think. Will we? Oh, go on. Yeah, good, good. Bigger and better than ever on Channel 31. As per usual, an enormous show to get through, a huge one. Last show of the year. Went to a bit of trouble tonight. Not a lot of trouble, I think you'll agree, but a bit of trouble, and it's really, really, really hot, and my pants are killing me. So, on with the show. Now, we're going to start off with the gourmet segment of the show, as we always do. So it's over. See what's cooking in Keely's kitchen.
Hi everyone. Well,
Hi everyone.
Carlos and I know why Santas explode. Too much carried porridge.
What do you think of the Christmas set this week, Keely?
It's absolutely great. Flashing lights, the lot.
I've actually gone for the red singlet tonight, of course. just for the Santa sort of effect and all that.
So what have you got on the menu tonight? What's happening down at the Criterion that people can look forward to if they haven't booked in already for Christmas?
We won't be doing the curried chicken and such tonight, or the
That's a
whatnot.
shame.
What we're going to actually look at tonight, though, Keely, is Christmas. This year, 1994, has been a little bit tight for some people. I mean,
It has.
some people are doing this Christmas just perhaps a little bit too hard, you know, sort of not quite the cash resources to go around. So we're going to look at ways that you can just perhaps cut down a tiny bit on the spending on the Christmas dinner. So what we're going to do, Keely, now this has been done slightly before, sort of in a similar way. Radar O'Reilly and MASH, if you remember, one time he went to save the sacrificial lamb from the Greeks. Well, tonight we're going to do something similar. He made the spam lamb, we've made the spam turkey.
Great.
Now, it's quite simple really, Keely. Just a couple of spams here. Spam is perfect for vegetarians too. Scientific tests have proved there is absolutely no meat in this product.
And there's a very nice serving suggestion here on the pack, actually, Carlos, in case you're lacking imagination and you need to, we might be able to get a shot of that, do you reckon? Look, you slice it.
Yes, have it
Isn't
on
that
the
an
side.
innovative idea?
And it is recyclable as well. So remember that for you. Of course, no, it's not really. It's pure quality grade product here. We love it. We love our spam.
It's got salt, sugar, antioxidant, sodium nitrate,
That's good. That's good. It's all good stuff. It's all
all
natural.
the things you need in your diet daily.
Okay, so open that one up. We've got rather a square-looking turkey at the moment. We're going to carve it into shape a little bit more, sort of thing. Basically, we're going to look for round corners and whatnot.
Stop. I'm John Smythe from the Health Department. See my credentials? We've had a lot of complaints about your kitchen and your cooking practices. These include using food past the use-by date, eating and preparing unsanitary... What's that word?
Sanitary.
Underwear. Albert Park Lake jelly. We took a sample and the rat committed suicide before tasting it. Fairfield Hospital has been inundated by Channel 31 victims on a Friday morning. The Indian High Commission has complained and lodged an official protest in Canberra about the desecration of their national dish. And finally, the most awful thing of all, mothers have complained about their children seeing you eat Santa's balls on television. That's it. This kitchen is closed down and you two guys are nicked. You're off with me.
Well, this has been the kitchen.
Yep.
For shame.
That's so sad. That's one of the saddest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Will they be back next year? I don't know. Will we be back next year? I'm not entirely sure. That's so sad. My God, are we ever going to see him again? Did you take the turkey? Because I'm going to try some of that turkey. See, I just don't care anymore. Now, it's time to welcome the Butcher Boys, Superior Butcher. They're here with us tonight, and their first song, I'm very, very familiar with it, and it has a title. Sure does. And so... here it is, Superior Butcher with their song. Hey!
She Julie wants an answer. Oh, I tried to get her. She asked me if I'm holding. She asked me, can I have some? She knows that it ain't no answer, but she'll try it anyway. Now Julie wants an answer, and I don't know what to say.
If you've just tuned in, you're watching Under Melbourne Tonight. A little rough around the edges, but worth the effort. Hey, Jim.
Jolly good show, Superior Butcher. Thank you very much. The song was, of course, called Fast Julie. Now I remember. Fast Julie, Superior Butcher, and... Hi, Dr. Andy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well.
Good.
Can I just quickly plug Superior Butcher?
Sure,
Thanks.
let's plug them.
Okay. On the 11th of the 1st... Wow. Christmas party after the show tonight. Woohoo! Now, on the 11th of January at the Punters Club, you can see Superior Butcher, and you can see Superior Butcher, and I can see... Anyone can go in there and see Superior Butcher. They're playing with the bow weevils and interchangeable body parts. It says here. So, go along and see that.
You could take your own body parts and interchange them with others.
Like a wife-swapping party, only not on such a large scale.
And you can see Superior Butcher.
Oh, what more could you want?
What more?
Maybe the science segment with Dr. Andy!
Hey! Why is it so? And I'm glad you asked.
I never did. That was you.
No, I just jumped in there before. But look, Stephen.
What?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephen.
It's not my birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday.
Oh, jeez, Dr. Andy, stop it.
Okay. So,
It's Tony Biggs' birthday.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I don't really know when your birthday is, but I thought, well, why not? I know you've been having a few Christmas drinks, and doesn't he look snazzy tonight? Ooh, ah.
Stop that, will you?
Anyway, I thought what we could do is I'm going to get you to blow out the candle, but I know you've had a tad too many Christmas drinks, so I'm going to give you this funnel, and I want you to aim well, because this is to help your aim to blow out the candle. So, Stephen,
Yes.
I'm giving you this funnel because, you know, the birthdays have been getting on, and your aim is getting a bit wobbly.
Not as young as I used to be.
Go for it.
Okay.
Aim well, right, the centre of the
In the
funnel.
centre.
Yep.
Okay.
So get a big huff and puff and blow out that candle and blow your little socks off and blow out the candle and happy birthday to you.
I'll blow like there's no tomorrow.
All right, blow. Okay. Oh, you have to huff and puff a bit harder than that.
Okay.
So you're going to get a bit closer to the candle,
right, good,
perhaps.
yes. Okay, good.
And huff and puff just a bit harder than that. Oh, not too bad.
Oh, it wasn't meant to do that, was it?
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Damn.
As you can see here,
Wish I'd
Stephen
blown that
has-
candle out.
I'll actually. Actually, I'd like you to try that again.
Oh, okay.
I want you to blow the candle. Can I get off my little stool here?
Yeah, okay. That's real height.
Well, this is my real height. I'm sorry. They've built this stool for me. Look, I know. Isn't that sad? Oh, God, the magic of television. Isn't it just superb? Anyway, Stephen, what do I need
For
you
the whole year. That's what we've been doing, you know.
Get off my...
Right.
I want you to blow out the candle using the funnel.
Okay.
And watch him huff and puff.
That's a stupid idea. That'll never work, mate. All right.
And watch it. He'll be suffering and huffing and puffing, and the candle won't go out. Demonstrate, please.
Okay. Through the centre?
Yep,
Through the
that's
centre,
right.
okay.
Yep, okay.
Sorry.
Okay, right. Just pretend that science experiment worked. This is just like school, isn't it?
Yeah,
All
kind
the
of.
science experiments. But I'm going to, in fact, I'll just demonstrate that because Stephen got it wrong.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
I'm a
if
dud.
you use a funnel to blow out a candle, you can't do it.
See? Nothing.
In actual fact, the close-up shot there has even shown that the air pressure has decided that the candle flame even flickers towards the funnel. Isn't that just exciting television?
Just like when JFK was shot in the head.
Anyway, I'm going to show you my extraordinary abilities to blow out a candle. What? What?
You know, when they shot him in the head and his head went in the opposite direction when the bullet... Never mind.
Anyway, you know how you've heard of things like see-through?
Yeah.
Well, I've got something that's blow-through.
I'm sorry.
Yep. I have a brandy bottle here. Oh, so I'm wearing this, my basic black today, and you can't see the bottle. I'm wearing this bottle. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm wearing... Doesn't matter. There we go. I'm wearing the bottle. You know I could do that. I have talents, you know. Anyway, I'm going to blow through the bottle, okay?
What?
Through the bottle. Let's get a close-up of that. Yes, Dr. Andy has extraordinary candle-blowing abilities. I'm going to blow through the bottle. It's going to go through the glass, through the brandy, out the other side and blow out the candle.
No, I don't believe you.
Me. Okay, here we go.
She did it! Oh, no, she didn't. Yes, she did it, my God!
Isn't that just amazing? You see, my
incredible.
lips never left the bottle and I am able to blow out candles through... Do you say something wrong?
I don't think so.
I think our studio audience is a tad strange today. But anyway, look, aren't you just bedazzled by that?
How did you do that, Dr. Andy?
Ask me the question, band!
Why is it so?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to answer that. Okay, right. The reason you can't blow out a candle with a funnel, you can't blow out the candle with a funnel, is because of fluid mechanics. You see, what happens here is the air is travelling along the surface, so therefore, no matter how hard you huff and puff, the air pressure here is, in fact, the air is not getting to the candle. It's travelling on the surface around the outside the candle. Over here...
So it clings to the surface.
It clings to the surface, and that's why I was able to do this and actually blow out the candle. And it wasn't really a blow-through bottle,
oh,
okay?
Damn, I was
no,
going to
this is
buy one.
science. This is science.
Right.
And I have to get down from my stool again.
Get
here.
down.
And what's happening is the air from my puff is actually hugging the surface here, rejoining here, and blowing out the candle. So let's just try that again. Okay, here we go.
Yes, marvellous. Congratulations.
There we go. Thank you. Happy birthday to you too.
No, thank you.
I've got another experiment for you, Stephen.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Okay, this is... oh, actually, I need some money. Have you got any money on you?
Well, it just so happens, Dr. Andy, we've been through a lot together and I wanted to get you a Christmas present, so I shopped around for ages and ages and eventually I went to a lot of trouble. Don't try to thank me. Here's $20.
Oh. It's kind of like what your uncle does on Christmas Day.
Yeah, get yourself something nice.
Well, okay, well, I thought, you know, being a scientist and into R&D and that sort of thing that scientists do, I'm actually going to float the dollar. I'm going to help the economy. I'm going to put my science to good use.
Good.
I'm going to propel this nation into... Nevada?
Nevada is where they have the other casinos, so maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
you know what I mean. So I've got some liquid here and some juice, and I'm going to float the dollar.
Float that dollar.
Here we
Float
go.
that sucker.
Floating that little sucker there. But
Check
you know,
that buoyancy.
because that's what it takes to actually improve our dollar. We need to float the dollar first. So I'm going to do that science experiment now.
It's economics as well as science, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
Let's all go.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to mimic our dollar bill being assaulted. So here we go.
Assaulted?
Yep, absolutely assaulted. In this science experiment, we are just absolutely assaulting this money here. And it's in fact all happening here in this science experiment. Now, can I just say... Oh, God spoke to us again.
No, that was Andrea, the fox in the box.
Oh, right. Can I just say, I advocate safe science. So if you're going to try this experiment at home, please remember to do this safely. Now, Stephen, we're going to burn this note. We're going to have do therapy for everybody. I mean, after all, money burns a hole in your pocket, right?
Yes, it does.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to burn this, and this is going to be therapy for everybody because we know that the dollar, you know, is going up and down and burning, and it's not kind of stable. Nope. So this will be just like group therapy for everybody. And I want you to take this lighter.
It's my Christmas present to you, mate.
And this is what I think of your Christmas present.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to get you to light at the bottom.
This is a federal offence, you know.
Light it.
Can you just give it to me?
No, this is therapy. Light the bottom of the
It'll make me a better person.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Is it burning?
No.
Oh. I hate doing this, man. Do you know how long it takes me to earn $20?
Okay. I can see that this juice isn't very good, so out comes the brandy.
Oh, brandy, cool.
Yep, okay. Here we go.
What was that? Can I lick it off my hands or not?
Yeah, you can.
Right.
It actually tastes quite nice, a bit salty.
Yeah.
Did it make your face suck inwards and your teeth itch and your ears flap? Because that's what happens to me in the lab.
Oh. Must drop by sometimes.
Anyway, okay, here we go. Look at that shifty camera work there. They actually...
Marvellous.
Okay, now, this time...
Okay.
Therapy.
This is still a federal offence, you know.
Okay, what...
This is still against my ethos and my principles. Oh my God, it's going up in smoke, mate.
Okay, do we get that on camera?
I don't know. Should I burn it again?
Yeah, look, we'll dip it again in the juice.
We'll
burn it again.
Okay.
Okay, now, it's very light in here. It's difficult to see the flames.
Oh my God, it's going up.
There
Can
it
you
is.
see it? It's
Okay,
burning, mate.
It was burning.
And then it stopped.
And then it stopped. Now,
What happened? Why is it so?
thank you, I'm glad you asked.
That's
The
all right.
last time this year. What's happened is, when you wet a piece of paper, it doesn't burn. But we added salt. We added salt and alcohol here. I used vodka from the Oxford. I think your vodka's
this
a bit
vodka in
shoddy
here?
here. No, it's vodka. That was watering. That's our safety device, doing safe science, so that we won't get any dripping fire anywhere. But the brandy is the blue flame that you saw there on camera. Okay, so that's what burnt. Obviously, a wet note does not burn.
No.
But to give it a bit of, like, it's really hard to see that blue flame, and unless you douse your lights when you're doing your plum pudding, you don't actually see that beautiful blue flame. That's why I added salt, so you'd see a bit of orange, because when you burn sodium, a bit of flame photometry here, you see orange colour.
Yep.
So that's what we're doing here. If you're going to do this one, please practice safe science.
Yes.
We take no responsibility for any sort of houses burning down in Melbourne. But this is how you do it. You douse it in brandy, bit of salt, bit of water, and then set it alight, and it should burn, then stop.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Andy.
Oh gosh, that was a big breath. Have a happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks very much.
Happy Christmas to everyone out there too.
Let's hear for Dr. Andy.
Bye.
Right, our next guest on the show is a very close personal friend of mine. He's going to be doing some stand-up comedy on the show now. I've known him for a long time. He's young, he's sexy, he's got a new CD just out. He's a hot, raunchy, young, sexy stand-up comedian. Make him very welcome, Owen Kavanagh!
Yeah, thanks. It's really good to be on the Christmas show. You know, Christmas, I find Christmas fantastic. You know, you spend it with your family. I'm not going to spend it with my family this year because they're over in Ireland, which is a bit, well, it's a bit sad. I'm here. And actually, it's not too bad because my family are really weird. Like, when I was a kid, my mother used to actually think that abusing me would make me happy. She'd be there, "You stupid, ignorant child, you ruined the whole day, and I hope you're happy." I'd be like, if you want me to be happy, just don't hit me like that. And I remember once I broke a dinner plate, and my mother said, "Why don't you break them all while you're at it?" And then she beat the crap out of me when I did. And she used to whack me with the wooden spoon, you know, that was a favourite weapon, the wooden spoon, whack, 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 whack. And, you know, I used to think that was the most painful thing ever invented, but then some genius brought out the plastic version. I mean, that really stung. I'm thinking, fair enough, it's got to happen. We live in the age of plastic. I'm just thankful I didn't grow up in the Stone Age. And it wasn't just the wooden spoon, you know. My mother could use anything as a weapon without disturbing what she was doing at the time. Like, she'd be there brushing her hair and she'd go, brush, brush, whack. Brush, brush, whack. Brush, brush, whack. My mother was the first ever Irish rap artist. But it's not just my mother, you know. My dad's a weirdo, too. I can say this because my dad doesn't live in Melbourne. He won't be watching, right? Dad's a weirdo. Like, you know these things that your father tells you when you're a kid? Like, I'd be complaining about going to the supermarket. My dad would say, "When I was your age, we had to walk 20 miles to the supermarket. And we didn't even have supermarkets." I'm thinking, that's a bit stupid, walking 20 miles to something that isn't even there. You know, and it's always, "When I was your age." Like, my dad never knew how old I was anyway. I said to him once, I said, "All right, Dad, tell me, how old am I?" And he said, "You're about the same age as I was when I was your age." And we used to all think it was really weird, right? Because he'd walk out in the morning and he'd say, "I'm off to work." And he'd sort of hold his breath like that. And I used to think that maybe he had a job where he had to hold his breath all day. Because he'd come home in the evening and my mother would say, "The kids have been naughty again." And my dad would go, and like, I used to honestly think that my dad wanted to slowly become me by swapping bits of him with bits of me. Like, he'd be there, "If you give me some of your cheek, I'll give you a piece of my mind." "If you give me your lip, you'll get the back of my hand." And the thing is, right, my dad, the way I used to embarrass my father, I said, "Dad, where do babies come from?" And my dad used to tell me that story about me coming from the stork. And like in school, I'd hear stories about sex and stuff, and for a while I got really confused, and I thought maybe my dad was doing it with the stork. Because your parents never give you a straight answer when you're a kid. Like my dad, I'd say to my mother, "Can I stay out till 10 o'clock tonight?" She'd say, "Ask your father." My dad would always give me the same stupid answer, "We'll see." Parents always, and I was just talking to my dad on the phone actually, because I was at a party the other night, you know, and in Fitzroy, and my parents live in Ireland. There was a phone in the corner. I thought, what the hell? So I'm on the phone, I'm talking to my brother, saying, man, I'm really drunk, you know, I might even get lucky tonight, you know, I've had something to smoke. And he said, say hi to Mum in the upstairs extension. And after I'd been on the phone for an hour, I remembered the party was in my house. Well, my dad came on the phone. This is the thing, right? He came on the phone, he said, Owen, you've been away for a long time, you're going to come home and see us for Christmas. And I said, we'll see. As the thing is, right, Christmas, it brings out the worst in my family, like especially my mother. I remember when we had a live turkey, the first live turkey we had when I was a kid. I see this beautiful white bird in the backyard, and next thing Mom's broken its neck and she's ripping its feathers out. And I thought, oh my God, she knows about Dad and she's found the stork. Thank you very much, you've been wonderful. Real honor. Happy Christmas. Yeah.
Owen Kavanagh, people in the back going like this on the furniture and stuff. Owen Kavanagh. Now, Owen, don't rush off. Are you still there?
All right, I'm here, yeah.
Oh, good,
Hello.
marvellous. Now, you've got a CD coming out. See? It looks like that. And it's called Owen Live at the Riverbank in Singapore. Now...
Comedy for humans, too, actually, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Owen's Comedy for Humans live at the Riverbank in Singapore. That's what I said. It's my speech impediment. Now, this is the biggest selling CD in Singapore. Is that true?
Yeah, believe it or not, yeah. It's actually the first live comedy CD that's ever recorded there, so it's something really different, yeah.
So cool, and there's an album notes. Can I read an album note off the back? I'm going to anyway.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't understand English, then you won't understand this sentence.
Yeah.
It says here. There's a whole bunch of tracks, including My Agent, Arrival in Singapore, My Blue Bicycle. Now, track 10, there's a sticker over the top, and it's called Censored. What's the deal?
Oh, well, because Singapore, like, you know, it's censored. There was one track that I had to take off, and we left the track there, but I put in a beep, and so it just goes for 1.5 seconds. It just goes beep, and that's it.
Oh, good.
My favourite track. I put a lot of work into it.
Yeah,
you know?
I could see that.
And I'm actually thinking about releasing that as a single, so
Awesome.
we could make a film clip for it, maybe.
That'd be good. You have celebrity cameos and everything. Now, if people want to get this, it's going to be released next week, is that right?
Well, it's going to be released soon. Well, I'm not sure exactly when in Melbourne, but I've got a P.O. box.
Okay, you can get it by mail
box.
order. Tell them what's going on.
Oh, right, yeah, it's on the screen. P.O. Box 1355, Collingwood, Victoria 3066, and send $25, includes postage. But actually, if you say that you were watching tonight and you saw us on the show, you just send $20, and that includes postage. And special deal.
Special deal for Under Melbourne Tonight viewers. That's a special deal for Under Melbourne Tonight viewers. Later on, Dennis Walter will be coming on singing a song. And then we've got the Ronson wheel. That's going to be huge. Thanks very much.
And steak knives.
And steak knives. Don't forget. So, if you want to write into there, get the special deal off Owen. Say you watch it on Under Melbourne Tonight. $20. There you go. Thank you very much, Owen Kavanagh.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Now, I know. All the noise at the back of the grandstand vibrating is one person hitting the door with his feet, and he nearly fell over then. So there you go. So much for enthusiasm. Now, it's time to welcome back the Butcher Boys. Superior Butcher? No, it's not. No, it's a stupid idea. No, I'll tell you what. I've got a better idea. How about, instead of that, why don't we go to the film review segment? What do you say? Yeah.
Yes, thank you for joining myself and the rest of the Under Melbourne Tonight crew on our last show for the year. And of course, I thought I'd review a big film. This film is so big that I got that little note in the mail which said there was a parcel waiting for me at the post office, which I got very excited about. Thought, finally a Christmas present went down there. And to my disappointment, it was this tube which contained this calendar. Interview with the Vampire. This is a very much awaited film, and basically, maybe it's true of every film I've reviewed, but I know for a fact that nothing I say will make any difference to whether you go and see this film or not, because you've probably already made up your mind. You have to see it, really, particularly if you're a Gothic fan. Although I saw quite a few Goths down at the preview I went to. I wish they'd had a shower instead of come to see the picture myself. But nonetheless, we quite enjoyed seeing them at the picture. And of course, we are all interested, at least I'm interested in seeing vampire pictures. I don't know about you, but up until I was about 28, which is how old I am now, always go to bed, walking to the bed, pulling the pyjama collar up over the neck, because you never can be too sure about those vampires. Now, this film, Interview with a Vampire, is directed by Neil Jordan, who we last saw giving us the excellent art house film The Crying Game. But I'm here to tell you that in terms of big budget that is, Hollywood pictures, Neil Jordan is no Cecil B. DeMille. You got that? Because, and in fact, there's no big producers, in my opinion, at the moment in Hollywood. There's no one with the talent to make a truly big film. But enough opening piffle. Let's see a quick clip from Interview with the Vampire. And here we have Brad Pitt, the vampire Louis, talking to Christian Slater, the interviewer in modern San Francisco.
So, what do you do?
I'm a vampire.
That's something I haven't heard before. You mean this literally, I take it?
Absolutely. I was waiting for you in that alleyway. Watching you, watching me. And then you began to speak.
What a lucky break for me.
Perhaps lucky for both of us.
You said you were waiting for me. What were you gonna do? Kill me, drink my blood, all that stuff?
Yes. But you needn't be concerned with that now.
You really believe this, don't you, that you're a vampire?
We can't begin this way. Let me turn on the light.
I thought vampires didn't like the light.
We love it. I only wanted to prepare you. Don't be frightened. I want this opportunity.
How the hell did you do that?
The same as you do. A series of simple gestures. Only I move too fast for you to see. I'm flesh and blood, but not human. I haven't been human for 200 years.
Don't believe the press hype about this film that Tom Cruise is actually the star, because the lead actor is Brad Pitt, who you saw just there as the vampire Louis. Now, Brad Pitt, he's had an interesting acting career when you think about it. He played a thief in Thelma and Louise, just a bonghead sitting on a couch in True Romance, and played a psycho sort of serial killer in California. And you speak to any girl who doesn't want to sleep with the man. I cannot believe it. Yes, he's a thieving, bong-smoking killer, but bring him home, is what they say. And he is a lot more sexy than Tom Cruise, and that's not just my opinion. I will mention that Christian Slater is playing the role that was written for River Phoenix, who of course couldn't be in the picture, and the film is dedicated to his memory. Christian Slater got paid $300,000 for his small role and donated it all to charity. Personally, I think it was after he saw his own performance in the film and realised he didn't deserve to be paid, so he handed the 300 grand over. I'll just mention that Tom Cruise, in my opinion, must be the most overrated actor in Hollywood. I cannot think of a more talentless person on the face of the planet getting paid such an exorbitant amount of money. It is an absolute disgrace. He is a shocker. There's a very good reason why Anne Rice, who wrote the book Interview with a Vampire, desperately wanted Daniel Day-Lewis for the lead role. She even wanted Rutger Hauer, although, to be honest, he shot himself in the foot when he was in that comedy spoof called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because you can't really go from a comedy into a serious film. But the fact of the matter is, 2 years later, when the film's made, Anne turns around and says, "Oh, Tom's fantastic, loved him, I can't believe I ever didn't like him." The fact that she was quite literally given $2 million to say that is, of course, just by the by. So Tom Cruise, the man, cannot act. He lacks charisma, and this is very important because the film, and if you've read the book in particular, is driven by the charisma of the Lestat character, and I'm afraid poor Tom Cruise just does not live up to that charisma. The other vampires in the film have small roles. Stephen Rea, who was in Crying Game with an appropriate surname, and also your friend of mine, Antonio Banderas. He's a household name around at my house, let me tell you. And of course, a very important ingredient in the book is the homoerotica. Now, the homoerotica factor was obviously a little bit too hot for Hollywood, or maybe a bit too close to the bone for Tom Cruise, and for that reason it's kind of sidestepped in the movie Interview with a Vampire, and the sidestepping that major ingredient is another reason why the film really is a pale shadow of the book. Time for another clip, I think you'll agree. In this instance, probably the most homoerotic scene we get to see, where Lestat, played by Tom Cruise, decides it's time to sort of start turning Louis into a vampire. Here we go.
You lack the courage of your convictions, sir. Do it. Most of all, I longed for death. I know that now. I invited it. A release from the pain of living. But it was a vampire that accepted.
Give me your money or you die.
Do you still want death? Or have you tasted it enough? Enough.
How on earth do you get that much splash from a pin drop, I ask you? But let me tell you right now, Tom Cruise, how about the man? Should have stuck to the genre he was good at, which of course was the teenage sexual frustration genre with Losing It and Risky Business, which he was quite good at, but he's outgrown the role. And let me tell you that was an exciting clip, I'll give you that, and the trailer for this film is great, but it's another great instance of the trailer being infinitely better than the film, and of course I tend to pick the best clips from the movie, and the movie's like 2 hours long, so you are seeing the best, so believe me when I say it's disappointing. Now the sort of plot, if you like, studies the life of the vampire character Louis for 200 years, spending time in New Orleans and time in Europe, but there are three characters together, if you like. There's Lestat, there's Louis, and there's the little girl that they have, Claudia. Claudia is a vampire who's probably, for most of the part in the film, she's in her mid-30s, but she's trapped in the body of a young girl. And in the book, people are drawn to the magnetism of the character, and she's easily, very lovable basically, and you can understand the relationship between the three. But unfortunately, in the movie, not the book, she's just a precocious pain in the arse, and that is actually a severe failure of the film because we just hate her curly locks. In conclusion, I'll just say that even though I panned Frankenstein here on Under Melbourne Tonight, I think Frankenstein is a better film than Interview with a Vampire. I think the film Dracula, Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, was a very flawed movie. Count Dracula, I mean, remember the performance from Keanu Reeves in that picture. But that film was better than Interview with a Vampire. And if you want a good vampire film, go to your video shop. Kim Bigelow's film Near Dark, about 8 years ago, starring Bill Paxton and Lance Henriksen. That is a great vampire picture. In conclusion, if you want to see a quality film, Once Were Warriors, that New Zealand film, no one's favourite genre, the Maori domestic violence genre, I admit, but done to absolute perfection. I'll leave you with a clip from Interview with a Vampire. This one, and not a bad little clip actually, gives you the precociousness of the Claudia character I spoke of, and basically you don't want to be helping her out with a dress fitting. Bye from James the Hound Dog.
He knew me. He knew I would love her more than the waking world. But there was more to it, for he lavished affection on her, there's no doubt about that. Perhaps in the end he did it because he was lonely too.
Monsieur, I need more light. I shall go blind if you do not bring me another lamp. Or let me fit this child during the day.
I am afraid, madame, my days are sacrosanct.
A little child she was, but also a fierce killer, now capable of the ruthless pursuit of blood with all a child's demanding.
Let me kiss her better.
Claudia! Claudia! Now, who will we get to finish your dress? This is practicality, Shuffy. Remember, never into a poem.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks very much, James Hound Dog. Merry Christmas, James Hound Dog, wherever he's gone. Sexy T-shirt with a wrestling thing. Randy Macho Man Savage, am I right? Yeah! All right, now it's time to welcome back the Butcher Boys. Now is a very good time for that. They're doing a cover of a Jimi Hendrix song. It's not young, it's actually old. It's old, it's raunchy, it's sexy. Here they go, it's fire! Superior Butcher!
For me, I don't care about that. Got a new boo girl, I like it like that. Have only one itch and desire. Let me stand next to your fire. 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 You say your mama ain't home, that ain't my concern. Say you're a child and you won't be burned. Have only one burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire. 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 Move over, Robert. I'm gonna touch you all over. You know what it is. You wanna give me your money, you better save it, babe. Save it for your rainy day. Have only one itch and desire. Let me stand next to your fire. 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 Let me stand next to your fire.
In case you give a rat's posterior, this is Under Melbourne Tonight. Rude, crude, but really nice underneath.
Hey kids, what time is it? It's time for the Complete Waste of Time segment with Captain Rastus. Yay, buddy!
Yeah, it's the last show of the year. We've been going 13 weeks, and I thought tonight we'd reminisce.
Good idea, let's do that.
Anyway,
that's enough of that.
Want to talk about Christopher Skase first?
Can we please?
Now, Christopher Skase has now been let off, and he's likened his jail sentence to Terry Waite and Nelson Mandela. Because we all remember when Terry Waite was actually there, sitting back on the lounge chair, sipping pina coladas in the sun-soaked Beirut. And Nelson Mandela.
2 peas in a pod.
And he was playing shuffleboard and polo in that chateau on the Transvaal.
Some people have it easy, don't they?
And Warwick, and he's actually, Christopher Skase has now likened himself to Warwick Kappa.
Has he?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Because he said, like, I'm like Warwick Kappa.
In what way?
One year I'm up there, high-flying, kicking 100 goals. Next year, I'm just a long-haired git.
Fair enough.
Actually, what else I want to talk about, apart from Christopher Skase, is aliens. Now, there was an article in the paper this week about aliens they're from other planets, not from other countries. they're the different type of aliens. And apparently there are aliens stalking the Earth, coming around and abducting people.
Abducting people?
They're abducting people.
Why?
And apparently they look like this. Can we get a close-up of that?
Oh, maybe over there we can.
Can we get a close-up of that?
This was from the... Oh, no, there, it's a beautiful one.
There we go, there we go. And have a look at that alien. He's wearing a polo neck jumper. They're supposed to be an advanced civilization.
He's wearing skivvies, for God's sake.
And apparently they're walking around the Earth. Just keep that camera on there. They're walking around the Earth in disguise, right?
Yep.
Now, how are these guys in disguise? I mean, they put on fake mustache and glasses. You're still going to know it's them, aren't you?
I think you will. I think you will.
Anyway, they're walking around the Earth.
I saw one with a beanie, and I didn't recognise him.
No, I didn't have any clue who it was. I thought it was Brad. Anyway, so they're walking around the Earth, abducting people, taking them from their beds, and taking them up to their spaceship, and taking ovum samples and sperm samples.
Oh.
And they're trying to actually, breed a race of humans that are nice like them.
Oh, what? How smug.
So these aliens, they're like an intergalactic Joseph Mengele with skivvies.
Yeah.
Actually going on sex tours of Bangkok.
Well, got to be happy with that.
Yeah, so there we go.
Strange world.
Actually, I was abducted by an alien once.
You never were.
I was? No, dead set.
Really?
I was in the city and I was actually drunk
What? Wait a minute. Let this sink in for a sec. Okay.
No,
Yep,
I was
got
drunk in the city, and I was with a few friends, and there was a light that came down from above, and it sounded a little bit like a woo noise. And there was another light, two kind of blue lights came up.
Wow.
And then these aliens came aboard, and they shone a light in my eyes, and then they threw me in the back of their spaceship.
Right.
And they took me off to this room where there was another guy called Leon.
Yeah, hang on. Have I seen these aliens? Are they the ones with the strange outer space moustaches?
They're the ones.
Yep.
Have you seen them too?
Yeah, I know. Yes, I have, but I never got abducted like you did.
They took me to this room which had actually been well used because there was graffiti all over the wall. And there was an old guy called Leon in there.
Yeah.
And he, I knew he'd been tested on because he smelt funny. He smelled like a cross between Parmesan cheese and a Jack Daniels factory.
Ooh.
So I knew they'd been doing tests on him.
Could only mean one thing.
And he was singing K-San songs.
Oh, marvellous.
So that's what aliens do to people.
And then what happened? How did you got away from the
No,
aliens?
suddenly I fell asleep. Just like
Unbelievable.
I fell asleep. And they must have been doing tests on me because the next day I woke up and I was back in the city. I was in Russell Street and it was daylight. And I knew they'd done tests on me because I felt like I had a headache and I felt really crook.
Right. Could only mean one thing.
Yes, aliens.
Yes.
And I reckon The Extraordinary on Channel 7 will be doing 20 minutes on that sometime next year.
I'd like to see that. That would be good. I'd tape that. You know.
Now, we've got to cut the show down a bit because we're running over time. We've got to get to the pub.
Have we got time to this letter from 50/50?
Oh, yeah, 50/50, my favourite program.
This is cool.
Except it's actually a bit in the newspaper.
Apart from that, it's his favourite program. Yeah, this is in the 50/50 Herald Sun today, right? This is from Frustrated of Nunawading. Could someone please help me to untangle these modern phone cords? I have tried everything.
Oh. So frustrated, I reckon we'll be round tomorrow.
Yep.
We're coming round to fix your phone. Don't ring us because you'll get tangled up again. We don't want to have to come round and find you all shriveled up with no food because you've been tangled up in your phone line.
But it was worth writing to the newspaper about.
That's right. If you've got a problem, write to the newspaper.
Yeah.
And we've still got our competition going where you can go on a pub crawl with Mr. Watto and myself and go and get pissed, give us lots of beer. We're not going to be actually paying for any. You're going to be paying for us.
Tempting, isn't it?
And you'll hear that classic line, yeah, you a shout. You a shout, mate. And so if you want to enter that, here's the address. Thanks, Andrea.
Send any old shit that you want to... Sorry, Rastus's complete waste of time. Care of RMI TV, Post Office Box 12566 at Beckett Street, Melbourne 3000. We can see you.
Okay, it's Bigsy's birthday. I'd like to say happy birthday to Bigsy.
Yes, happy birthday, Bigsy.
And Christmas? What are you doing for Christmas?
What am I doing for Christmas? I'm not a great deal, just hanging out with the family. Yourself?
I've been working pretty hard for Christmas.
Is that right?
I bought a turkey today.
Yep.
I plucked it, I stuffed it. Now I just got to kill it.
Thanks very much, Rastus. Complete waste of everyone's time. There's that deep vibrating sound again, which can mean only one thing. It's time for the birthday boy himself, Tony Biggs, and sniffing his glove.
Yes. Hello. And welcome. Fartosaurus is with us again this evening in festive mode. Mince pies. Quick cheerio to Jim Shembry. Love the write-up, Jim. Thank you very much. Yes, we are funnier than Letterman. Quick cheerio to business guru Paul Gardner, who is apparently threatening to sponsor us for many thousands of dollars. Go with it. Good deal. All right, yeah, it's Rick Nielsen's birthday today, actually, more importantly. Cheap Trick, yes. And this will lead us into our first clip for tonight. We're talking power pop, and we're talking local practitioners of that very art. First up tonight, some Holocene and Flying. That was quick, wasn't it? Not a long song, but they're a fine band and they'll be playing around town over the next... Well, geez, everyone will be around town over the next couple of weeks, which is why I won't sort of do my normal pick of the gigs because this being the last show of the year and also the Christmas New Year break coming up, there is so much on, it's just ridiculous. I will say I'll see you at the Big Day Out. And speaking of which, one of the bands who are on the bill at the Big Day Out is Offspring. They're from Orange County in Southern California. A county which has just declared itself bankrupt. Some people would say the band is pretty well bankrupt ideas-wise. It's all been done before, but I suppose some people haven't heard it before. And as one punk person said, you know, if girls had been into punk rock 10 years ago, grunge wouldn't have happened. Offspring will be out here for the big day out. They're also doing their own show, playing with some excellent locals named Body Jar. But for the time being, this is Offspring, something you're probably familiar with. Come out and play.
Gotta keep them separated. Hey! Man, you're talking back to me. Gotta keep them separated. Hey! Ain't nobody surrendering to you. What we doing every time
Just waiting for Mike Tyson. He'll be out shortly. Offspring, yeah, should be a good sort of high-energy pop show. I mean, that's all it is. I hesitate to call it punk, you know. It's not punk, it's just loud, fast pop. And that's fine. Nothing against loud, fast pop. Better than slow, dull pop, I suppose. Got a beauty to finish with tonight, but as I said, there's too much on to really hit you with a big gig guide. A couple of things I will mention, though. New Year's Eve shows, the Cosmic Psychos at the Prince of Wales, Dave Graney at the Esplanade. So St Kilda will be hell on earth, but it will be anyway on New Year's Eve. So I'll leave you with a lovely little poem, I think, this week. Just a quickie before I toddle. Roses are red, violets are bluish. If it wasn't for Christmas, we'd all be Jewish. I'll leave you with a fine band, an album from an album that's turned up on many best-ofs for this past year, the Golden Palominos. The album's called Pure. The piece we're going to go out with is Prison of the Rhythm, and see you next year.
Really just a reflex. Really just a slow text. Sleeping and awaking. Taking and a taking. Dizzy from this fucking insurrection. Seeking love up. Dizzy from this fucking insurrection. Seeking love up. Prison of the rhythm. Used to be a habit. Now it is the measure. Sex the only pleasure. Think you are an angel. Put me through the whole hell. Speed it up to love time. Over like a sex crime. Dizzy from this fucking insurrection. I seek the love of. Dizzy from this fucking insurrection. I seek the love of God.
Hey, buddy! Thanks very much, Golden Palominos. Thanks very much, Tony Biggs. Happy birthday. Thanks very much, Fartisaurus. What's wrong, Rastus? Something wrong? Oh, good, oh. No worries, getting into the Christmas spirit, or should I say spirits. Now, it's almost the end of the show. It's almost the end of Under Melbourne Tonight for this year. But I've just been handed this off the Under Melbourne Tonight satellite. Yeah, right. We're back on the 23rd of February, live. And get this. No, get this. Look out for a Best of Under Melbourne Tonight series over summer. Rastus reckons it's stupid. He's yelling it out to everyone who can hear. And that Best of series will be starting in a couple of weeks, so look out for that one. All the classic Under Melbourne Tonight segments which you've come to know and love. Like the one where we had the donkey. Oh, never mind. That never made it to air. Probably just as well. Now, it's the end of the show. Thank you for everyone who's been involved with the show for the whole year. Thank you, Owen Kavanagh, for coming in. Remember to send in for... Oh, there you are. Hi. Remember to send in for the $5 discount. Thank you to Dr. Andy for burning money on television. Thank you to Carlos and Keely for doing all sorts of stuff. Thank you to Donna just for being Donna. Thank you very much to Kylie just for being Kylie. Thank you very much to James and Tony Biggs and the Fartisaurus and Superior Butcher and everyone who's ever been involved with this show in the history of mankind ever. Thank you very much to RMI TV for letting me do it, because it makes me happy. And thank you very much to Channel 31. Thank you to you for actually watching and writing in. And remember, the Rastus and Stephen pub crawl competition's still on, so do rush in for that one. It's just about the end of the show. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas. Merry, happy, safe, slightly silly Christmas for you and your family. And of course, we will see you at the Canada, which is where we're going now. The Canada Hotel on Swanston Street. Now that's got to be worth a few drinks, says John Butcher at a Superior Butcher. And what he doesn't know about drinks, you could write on a piece of paper, if you like, and send it in, and they can come on a pub crawl. Okie dokie, thanks Rastus. Thanks Kylie. All right, we're going now. Thanks very much. Look out for the best of Under Melbourne tonight, and we'll see you in February. Merry Christmas, thanks very much. I've been Stephen Hall. Bye.
Of a lot of people involved with Under Melbourne Tonight this year. They've included Stephen Hall, Keely Smith, Carlos Raven, Dr. Andy, James Hounddog, Tony Biggs, Rastus, Marty Schneeberger, and guest comedian for tonight, Owen Kavanagh. Also, studio band Superior Butcher, me up here in the box, writers Stephen Hall, Rastus and John Howell, director Steve Messenger. Audio, Stuart Fairweather, Aldous Mitchell and Patrick Dell, graphics by Jason Stancombe, tape operator John Dalton. Keely's Hair is by Robert at Frenzy in Brunswick Street, Fitzroy. CCU operator Mark Gunther, band vision mixer Stephen Howard. Production manager has been Rachel Dubsky, floor manager Kylie Slattery. The camera work has been done by Hans de Kock, Vincent Trundle, Justin Pawsey and Joanne Phillips. Lighting by Liam O'Hara, production assistant Lou Ridsdale, Brendan McInnery. Talent coordinator, publicity Donna McInnery, set design Rachel Guthrie. The segment producer has been Emma Travis. Executive producers are Liam O'Hara and Jill Harris. Don't forget now, Under Melbourne Tonight is copyright for MCT 31, produced by RMI TV. And finally, Under Melbourne Tonight is brought to you by Melbourne's very own Planet of Sound, 3RRR, 102.7 on your FM dial.